Our customers, count on us to be giving them top quality product. If it's not the best beet you've ever eaten, then I need to go find it somewhere else. We build the relationships. My beet farmer is also my heirloom tomato guy, and he actually puts so much nutrient into the soil. He modifies it so much that our beets are so mineral packed, you actually feel good after you eat them. And that's something that people that hate beets come in and try your beets and go, wow, I like beets again, or I like beets for the first time. And we're able to we require things like that out of our suppliers so we can give them to our guests. We built our menu and our system around being able to buy the best quality from farmers, even if it was in a very small quantity. We'll buy things that are, if we have 20 orders of it to sell on a night in July, we'll buy something with 20 orders. It'll be gone by 7 o'clock. But we're able to write our menu that way. We write the menu every day so we can actually use the cool stuff we find from a farmer. Someone comes to our door with it, or we go to the farmer's market and go, oh my gosh, that's the best looking insert name of vegetable here. And we can buy a bunch of it and sell it that day. We're not constrained like a lot of people are with having a set menu and having to fit a specific food cost for every specific item. We don't look at it that way. I need someone who's going to be reliable, who delivers what they say they're going to deliver. I understand the vagaries of farming. Bad things happen sometimes. A hailstorm's going to take out your crop. A small pest can take away your whole carrot crop. I understand those things happen. Those aren't things that can be controlled necessarily. And I get that, but people that, I need stuff for Friday night service. I need it to be there by 3 so that I can prep it for 5 o'clock service. I can't have you showing up at 5:30 or 6 with it because it does no good. So, and things like that don't happen very often anymore, because once they happen once or twice, they tend to have someone else gets an opportunity. Prices is of course an issue too. We're probably the most expensive restaurant in this part of Michigan, and our egg supplier jumped up price every couple of months until I was paying 35-40 cents an egg, and I can't afford to do that. I can't afford to take that, mark it up, and sell it to my guests, because with my markup to pay my rent and pay my staff and pay everything else, I'm charging way too much, way more than I think my guest is willing to pay. And if the guest isn't happy to pay for it, then I can't sell it, and therefore I can't buy it. So that's also a factor, but for us it's less of a factor than a lot of other places are. The relationships with lots of the growers are very mature ones, and our staff's been around for a long time. So they might know all these stories. We don't spend a lot of our time telling the stories to the guests, but if you ask a question and you're interested and you want to know about it, usually the server that's waiting on you knows the answers to the question and can tell you something about it, or has even visited the farm where it came from. Our staff goes and visits farms every year. Goes to see what the process looks like, goes and sees what they do. And we get to see, as the buyers, what it looks like too. So that's something to us that's very important. I think that's something that adds value to the guest, but not something we necessarily have to push in their face. People that are doing this aren't doing this because it's a chance to make an extra nickel. The guy that owns the 3 McDonald's franchises is making a lot more money than we are. We do it because we love what we do and we care. And we want Michigan, we want our kids to have the chance to see the same Michigan that we're in right now. Which growth's going to happen, changes are going to happen, but we want to help mitigate it and help control what happens and grow it in a good way. And if you want to have farms to drive by in the summertime on the way to Sleeping Bear, you better keep the farmers in business. And keeping the farmers in business keeps us in business, and it's all a symbiotic relationship. It all works that way.